Hi, Wes Morrow with CIR Realty and the Calgary Real Estate Advantage. As we step into 2026, let's take a moment to reflect on Calgary's real estate market in 2025 and look ahead into what's in store for the year ahead. The 2025 Calgary and area real estate market could be summed up in one word: rebalancing. The demand continued to be strong for the first part of the year, and builders were scaling up, especially for higher density homes in the apartment and townhome segments. It seemed like the bottom fell out when Trump got elected again. The uncertainty of tariff threats put everyone on standby, and by early spring we were starting to see higher inventory levels even though the demand was staying fairly strong. There were a number of homeowners that wanted to realize the gains of the past few years. As well, the builders had an exceptional amount of inventory to keep pace with the demand from the past few years. The summer started to see the market shift from a seller's market to a more balanced conditions. We thought this may have been a seasonal slowdown. However, when fall rolled around, the elevated inventory levels started pushing prices down. The hardest hit segments were the apartments and the townhomes. Both have seen price declines of 5 to 10%, while the detached and semi-detached home prices fared slightly better with less than 5% decrease since 2024. Keep in mind that the prices jumped 20 to 30% over the past few years. The last few years was a perfect storm for the Calgary census metropolitan area. High immigration and interprovincial migration saw more than 250,000 people move into the area in less than 3 years. This represents a 20% increase in population, and man, we felt it. Wait lists for schools, difficulty finding a doctor, and despite Alberta being a beacon for employment, it was actually really hard to find a job. These were stories that we heard from numerous people. That demand has slowed substantially for 2025 and is expected to be similar for the upcoming year. So most satellite towns around Calgary, they saw price growth year over year, and with the exception of Canmore and Chestermere, all the towns are more affordable than Calgary. As the prices climbed in Calgary, we saw more and more people moving out of town for more affordable living. Okotoks is still seeing very tight inventories with less than 2 months supply, while most other towns have come to a more balanced market similar to Calgary. So what are the expectations for this year? Well, slower job growth and less migration will continue to favor balanced market conditions. Although new home starts are projected to be lower than 2025, there's still a lot of inventory that has to work its way through the market. This will continue to keep supply levels high, especially in the apartment segment. Some of the supply is purpose-built rental units, which will give consumers a lot of options for living in 2026. Prices are expected to decline in the apartment and townhome segments, while staying relatively flat for the detached and semi-detached segments. With prices of goods and services going up substantially over the past few years, condo fees have also increased. It is still most consumers' preference to buy a non-condo home. However, affordability now pushes some buyers into that part of the market. All of this is prefaced on the world carrying on as normal. Any situations beyond our country's control could have more adverse effects to the local market. Regarding my business, well, it's been off to a blazing start this year, and I get a sense that even though the world seems crazier than it was last year, buyers and sellers are not interested in waiting for certainty and want to get on with their plans. If you're thinking about making a move this year, now is the time to get started. Let's connect and we can develop a plan together.